Hello, everyone.
Champion, Ranger General, the Harbinger has struck at the Aegis Wall.
She has made the first move. What is she planning?
Just as we're at our strongest again, Xal'atath strikes. No time to think, as the Nerubians are on the march. Everything we've done so far, the Storm Riders, the Golems, the Horde and Alliance, training the Earthen Troop, our allies amongst the Arafi, everything we've got is brought to the battlefield to stem the tide of darkness. Lady Aldrin makes a very old callback. Let it be said that Quel'Thalas repays even the oldest of debts. Blood Knights charge for Arator, for the light. I imagine that she's referring to the line of Thoradin of Arator, the human kingdom uniting with the High Elves against the Amani trolls, but I kinda assume that since they're now Blood Elves and there's a whole lot of history between the Alliance and the Horde now, that debt was kinda over with, but I guess not. Which, regardless of opinions, it might come back later if and when we deal with the Arafi Empire and their Emperor, if we're going to deal with more people that might have a connection to that Thoradin bloodline.
We need to reach Alleria, quickly!
Alleria,
Khadgar?
this isn't the real fight.
The black blood. It's all around us. Turalian, I have to go.
What? The battle is about to turn.
We've played right into Xal'atath's hands. But I know where she is. And I'm going to stop her.
I'm coming with you.
I know you would. But your place is here. I need you to trust me.
We'll be right with her.
Come back to me.
I always do.
This oppressive darkness. I can barely see beyond the airship's flame.
In my heart there is fire. A beacon in the dark.
Xal'atath is here. I can sense her. We need to hurry.
But first we must find a way to light our path.
Trevelian stays behind to hold the line and turn the battle with the others against the Nerubians, while our party enters the priory of the Sacred Flame. This was built by the Arafi for ardent worshippers to contemplate the mystery of the Emperor's vision. And yet, it also seems to have been perfectly designed for Xal'atath to do what she came here to do. Is it possible that she's taken steps to get this done? Has she influenced the visions of the Emperor?
Keep struggling. Let your emotions run. Every moment of defiance charges the air around you and feeds into me.
We'll cover you, Farron. Focus on the brazier.
The sacred flame protects us. I will bring light to the darkness. The priory has a light well in the middle of the courtyard. No doubt it has been tainted.
Even the light burns with your rage as you carry candles into a starless night.
It is not rage, but hope that guides the way. Dawn is ever on the horizon, Harbinger.
The courtyard is clear. Purify the well.
The darkness has receded. Hurry, to the priory. The darkness saps my strength.
Wait. What is that?
All that remains of Queen Neferis.
Yes. Bring your allies to me, my blade. Drive them to the brink. For you have become the weapon that I now wield.
Monster! May your soul be judged by the flame!
My people shrouded in pain.
Something's wrong.
No more darkness, pain. No more.
She's fighting against her will.
The betrayed queen of the Nerubians already chose to defy the will of Xal'atath, and she paid the price. Pumped full of the black blood, she is struggling hard to maintain control over her true self. And so, we make the call to spare her life.
Xal'atath is just ahead. After me!
Go! I'll hold the line! In the very heart of shadow, I will be the shield that guards the way!
You know, Alleria, you mortals are the most wrathful creatures in existence. I've watched you break worlds, overthrow gods. Even the realm of death couldn't hold you. Your hunger for violence is insatiable.
You lured us here. Unleashed us upon the Nerubians.
All to fuel the Black Blood's power. My power.
This stops now.
Your determination delights me. But I have risen from the ashes of countless empires. I have survived ordeals you cannot comprehend. You cannot kill me.
I'm not aiming at you.
This changes nothing!
Khadgar! Oh no. I heard your voice. This can't be.
You did well. I knew you would stop her.
Stay with me, Khadgar. Don't let go.
A lot happened in a short cutscene. We see Xal'atath draining power from Beladar, monologuing about the hunger for violence, finding the Nerubians and whatnots, all to fuel the Black Blood's power. My power. And it's uncertain exactly what she means, but to me, it calls back to the days of Mr. Pandaria. Pandaria is a land infused with the essence of the old god Y'Shaarj. Bits and pieces of its body fell back onto the land as the Titans ripped it out. Our emotions then fed the darkness of the land and the Sha popped out. And if I had to give this an interpretation, I'd say that the Black Blood, the blood of the old gods, it responds in a similar way. Draining out Beledar does seem to support the idea that it started to darken, because when Sargeras stabbed the world, it shook loose the blood of the old gods, which the Nerubians been collecting, which then the crystal has also been gathering. Again, did Xal'atath plan this in advance? The priory and its location, it seems to be planned out for just this moment. What is Xal'atath's connection to the star, to Beledar? I'm putting money on it being the ship that brought Xal'atath to Azeroth, but that is a complete stab in the dark. Speaking of the dark, Alleria has gotten a lot stronger. In the pre-event, we saw her struggling to deal with Xal'atath. As the Harbinger, she knew exactly where to hit her, push her away from her loved ones, believing that she had to make the sacrificial plays to get anything done. But quite the opposite proves true. Her anchors are not just her motivation, but also her strength, and that clarity, it allows her to take the shot. That doesn't explain why Xal'atath didn't just instantly disarm her or make her crawl like she's done before. You could explain it by saying that she was busy with the whole power drain, or maybe she has started to believe her own hype. Alleria has not exactly shown to be a threat to her so far, yet at the same time, this is supposed to be like this untouchable being. It's interesting, but all the same, beat her we do. Shattering the dark heart and the powers locked inside, they come out in a massive explosion. Not exactly what Xal'atath had in mind. We don't know what she has in mind, but this reaction, it does not give the impression that it fits in our master plan. Forced to leave instead of retaliate, we now have Khadgar returned. A lot of people asked if this was really Khadgar, or is it again a sneak by Xal'atath? Anything is possible. The whole Khadgar is a Dreadlord thing, it can always be applied, but personally I don't think so. Because they have not only brought Khadgar back, they've also connected it to Anduin reconnected to the light. Imagine that Xal'atath would reveal that it was her all along, and that Anduin reconnected to save her. It would be the twist of a lifetime. It might send him off the edge, but I doubt that is what they're going for. Speaking of Anduin, he decides to no longer turn away from the light, but to embrace it once more. The small steps taken throughout his journey in the war within, they pay off in this moment. Not instantly dealing with his trauma either, it's still very much a day-by-day, step-by-step process, but at least he is willing to embrace the light again, and he does something that, lore-wise, is incredibly difficult. He performs what I presume to be a resurrection. Gameplay-wise, that's no big deal, right? How often do we not bring our raid team back from the dead? But for the story, it's a lot more rare. It's not necromancy either, it's not a zombie from the grave. No, it is a full-on rest in the light. He has presumably done it with his father before, who nearly died. He brought back Jaina with the aid of Chi-Chi the Red Crane, and now here we got Khadgar back as well. The old wizard does have a price to pay for his magical adventure, but the day has been won.
Fortune smiles on us today. The battle is won, and in victory, we've had a dear friend return to us. Traces of Xal'atath's presence linger in the air. In time, she will strike again. But for now, I believe we've all earned some respite.
It occurs to me that I never got the chance to properly thank you, champion. Were it not for your efforts, Dalaran could have proven to be an even greater tragedy than it was.
We thought we had lost you, Khadgar. How did you survive?
The Dark Heart was created not to destroy, but to capture and harness all manner of power. When I felt what it was doing to me, I transmuted myself into pure arcane energy.
And allowed yourself to be trapped within the Dark Heart.
Yes, until you freed me.
That was a risky move, trusting me to finish the fight against Xal'atath.
I knew you would do whatever it took to defeat her, just like all those years ago, when we charged through the dark portal and closed it behind us to save our world. Both then and now, placing my faith in you was never any risk at all. That transmutation spell, however, that was not without consequences. You know, Kerdrin keeps saying I should just ride a griffin around. That seems terribly inconvenient, if you ask me. I much prefer this chair.
Could that be because Archmage Modera designed it for you herself?
Why, Alleria? Whatever are you implying?
Only that you and Tyrellian are so very alike. Bold in battle, shy in matters of the heart.
And you are still the same old Alleria, I see.
That I am, Khadgar. Void or no void.
There's been a small bit of romance brewing in the background between Khadgar and Archmage Modera. And I find it cute to see it come back in this conversation between Alleria and Khadgar. It's a very old callback, the novel Beyond the Dark Portal, released in 2008. But once upon a time, we had Khadgar, who confronted his corrupted mentor Medivh. And in that confrontation, Medivh sucked out the life out of him, magically aged him, and while these days, he goes around looking like Khadgar, once upon a time, he was not feeling so hot. Imagine how Khadgar felt when he saw Alleria trying to throw her life away and join her departed loved ones, her family that had died at the hands of the orcs, and their whole will they won't they thing between Alleria and Tyrellian, instead of embracing the love and the connection that he might never be able to get. I find it cute to see where Khadgar now stands and how he can goof about his love life, but I do wonder if there's going to be more consequences and effects to being stuck within the Dark Heart. You'd imagine that if Xal'atath can control the Nerubians and Alleria the way that she has, that being part of the Dark Heart, it could have a similar effect. Not to mention, what is the Dark Heart? Where did Khadgar go? Is it his own pocket dimension? There are still so many questions left to be answered, like, are we going to reforge Atiyesh? Again?
It would have been easy for you to end Queen Neferess's life to secure victory. And yet you spared her. Words cannot capture my gratitude. I will escort my queen home, and bring word of your deeds to my conspirators. Return to the surface for now, and know that you will forevermore have allies in Ashkahet.
As I'm writing the script, the raid is just about to release, so I'm not sure how the story within the palace is going to affect the ending of the max level campaign. What did we do first story-wise? Did we deal with Xal'atath in Hollowfall and then head over to the palace? Did the palace happen first, or did it go at the same time? Hard to say, but back at the Weaver's Lair...
My queen, forgive me. I should have known your demise was manufactured by Xal'atath.
Widow! No! No! Do not look! Stay away!
Neferess, I've been apart from you for too long. Do not ask me to suffer your absence for another moment.
Abomination hurts. Leave me, Naya.
Never. After all that has happened, all that we've done, it was worth it to hear you say my name again. You needn't speak, my dear. I am here at your side. I will not leave you. All is as it should be.
And so the battle is won. Champion, all of Khadgar owes you a tremendous debt. When you first arrived on our shores, we were fractured and divided. But you showed us the path to becoming whole again.
You reignited our drive for purpose and to define the parameters of our own existence.
We see now that traditions can change and evolve, and even be broken, if necessary. The Arathi no longer cower in darkness. We bring the light in our hearts wherever we go.
This council stands stronger than ever before, with new friends and allies by our side. And we have you to thank for it.
You found your light again.
Sort of. More like I stopped running from it. Before he died, my father wrote me a letter. He said that I had to fight for peace. I thought that I had to become him because the world still needed him. Because I still needed him. But taking up his sword only led to war and death. I made mistake after mistake. I felt
unworthy. Varian Rin was a fierce, proud warrior. I respected his strength. But you, Anduin, you have your own strength, greater than any sword.
I'm not my father, but he never expected me to be. That's why he wrote that letter. To remind me who I am. It was his final lesson. And his greatest gift. It feels good to know we made a difference here. And yet, I can still hear the Radiant song echoing in my heart. Why did it lead us here? Was it solely to confront Xal'atath? Or is there something larger at play? I'm no stranger to feeling like a greater calling awaits. But this is different, somehow. I just hope that we prove ready to answer it.
The Radiant song still rings out. And what is it trying to tell us? Xal'atath is not gone, merely retreated, connected to dimensions the All Devouring and Karesh, homeworld of the Ethereals. There's the question, what lies underneath Ashkahet? The Traegar of the past were unable to go further and answer the call of the song. There are the Hornir in Ashkahet, also with a song in their hearts, connected to mysterious roots, potentially the legend of Alunahir and the speculated lifelands. There are the Goblins, who name-dropped Undermine, Goblin capital, which I really wanted back in Battle for Azeroth, but might now be added. There's the darkness of the Abyss, underwater threats like the Kobus, Blood of the Old Ones, maybe a return of Azora. There's the Arathi Empire with Beladar, whatever that might be. Renilush, their emperor manipulating fates, potentially another sign of Azeroth. They've been building up a fair few threats that they can pull on for the future, but those topics I want to dive more into in separate videos. Not to mention that we also know for the next big patch, it's gonna be their 20th anniversary patch, so we got some time. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, see ya!